Yes, I mean, Mr. Roberts. Or front office. I'm sorry to interrupt your regular program. This is fake flutter fishing network. Oh, God. Who's gonna stand up? And us. And we are live. This is the Limitless channel, and I'm super excited to introduce my co-host with the most, Awake Souls. How's it going, brother?
It's going good. It's going good. Wednesday night, coming into Christmas, right? And it's an exciting week, in my opinion. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna have.
I'm pumped.
Well, that's good. I like it when you're pumped. We're gonna have some lists. There's gonna be some people that are gonna be logged down and remembered here. How do you want to start this off, brother? I'm just getting some stuff figured out here.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's been a little while since we've really tore in to the fake Christian, fake flat earthers. And tonight we're going for blood, right? Not literally, but spiritually, right? Spiritual warfare. And there's a guy that we've called out before, eftupworld, that I'm still subscribed to. I guess you are too. And we keep tabs on. And I noticed recently that he had a video up that in his description box, he had this perfect chart, but you found a few more, which is incredible. That just shows the level of research that you have. But really what he did is he identified their entire fake Christian, fake flat earth network. And just like we did back in the beginning, when we were putting together our slides, we did flow charts and, beyond flat earth, right from the beginning. And you brought it back. And it's awesome. And so to take all these fake flat earth Christians and put them together on a sheet, and what we're going to do is work together to organize this whole thing. And you got us started, and we are going to fine tune this, all of us as a community, and we're going to show everybody the network, how it's assembled. And we're going to take this network, we're going to show how it connects to the next network, and we're going to expose and uncover that one. And with our flow charts, we are going to put this together as a perfect picture that's like live updated all the time. And we're going to show everybody who's who, how they're connected, and all that. So I'm pumped about that.
Okay, so that's a great introduction. Here, I'll go to the effed up world video that you're talking about and just give people show them the breakdown here. Where is it? Far back. Here it is. So you brought to my attention that eftupworld had this list published, and he does have 30 some odd names here. One of the problems is he didn't put the links in properly, so none of the links that eftupworld has actually take you anywhere. All right. This guy is supposedly flattening atheism coming soon. He's already full out on YouTube. He has a channel already. I don't know why he's put it like this, but so it was Nathan Roberts who published this list way back in September 22nd, 2018 here. Here's the original list right here. So I'm not saying that all of these channels are specifically Satanists. What I am saying is they all know or have been shown that the AE map and model doesn't work now, either due to cognitive dissonance because they believe, if the AE map and model doesn't work, then the Earth must be a ball. Wrong. I don't know if that's what it is, brother. Did you have any ideas?
Well, this is one of those topics that I would like to make it super one way or the other, no other options, and I think we can do it. And so this is a fork in the road. When you're going down the road and it splits and you have two options, that's where I want to take us right now. And so these channels either are operating on cognitive dissonance because they've fallen for Satan's lie and they're deceived, or they're a deceiver. Right? So really soak that in. There's only two options. There's not three, not four. We've narrowed this down to something that you only have two things that you can choose from. You're either deceived or a deceiver. And that's a place that we're going to be taking this real soon, to super identify the people that we know are deceivers and just put the light on them. They're out in the open. And, they're just going to have to deal with it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, those are all excellent points. How's daughter brought up that people in the chat or people tuning into this video might not understand exactly why it is that we do what we do. Hey, Catherine. Hey, Shanna. So just to give a backstory, I've been on YouTube for about 5 years in the truth movement, and I don't profit anything. I don't sell any t-shirts. My videos aren't monetized. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this for the complete and total truth. And I found Jason. He's the only other person that is a content creator. We've now have other people like Terry Zappi and other people like that from the Final Countdown channel. And there's a few other people that do make content, but Jason and I are the only two so far that have not stopped and allowed any lies or deceptions into our life, into our videos, into our message. And so I've personally reached out to 80%, 70% of this list myself and shown them, many, many ways how they're living in error, how they're teaching lies, right? So we believed that we lived on a spinning ball, right, Jay?
We did. I think all of us have to say that we believe that. I don't know of anybody that is coming into this like, oh no, I always knew it was flat. I don't think so. No.
No, except for the creator, right? The one who created it. So we were all fooled. Okay. And Jason and I, just simply by asking the creator, asking our Heavenly Father to lead us in all truth and praying on every single topic that we cover, we found out through the Spirit that we had been duped and fooled again, right?
Well, it was prayer, but I think it was one more thing beyond prayer. And that is both of us tried to present it ourselves go through the work of learning it enough to present it. And when we did so, we came to the realization that it doesn't work, because both of us are builders. Both of us, know how to use a tape measure to measure something. We know how to cut something, and we know how to fasten something. And just with those practical real world skills, when you look at the AE map and model in that kind of perspective, you quickly realize, hey, this doesn't work. It's not rational. It's impossible.
Doesn't match. Yeah, when we tried to model it up and match the celestial observations with our local and ground positions, we found there was a bunch of problems. JP&E, our last hangout that we did, was a complete exposure of the transvestigation. We showed a lot of it, and Jason is the one who pointed out that Lori Frary from Flat Earth Conspiracy very likely is a man, and so is Pat Steer as well. That was all you, brother. And then there was a few other transgenders in the movement, but we don't want to get sidetracked. Let's get back on this. So today we are again reaching back out to the supposed Flat Earth Christian network. So they've all been yoked up here. This was back in September. We still have them doing the same things. Now, Nathan Roberts, I don't see him. I don't watch all of his videos, but I haven't noticed him acting satanic, ripping up Bibles, ripping up books lately. So that's a good thing. I'm going to get to the chart.
Whipping it Flat Earth.
There's one other thing that I wanted to touch on here. And that was the whole idea. Last week, we were exposing to everybody that Yahushua, who most people call Jesus, he wasn't actually crucified on a cross, right? The scriptures said that he had to be lifted up like the serpent. The serpent was lifted up because it was wrapped around a staff, right? An upright stake. And the cross is actually a super satanic Masonic symbol. It's not a Christian. It's not the apostles, the early church fathers, Irenaeus, and a bunch of other. There was no cross, right? It was brought in maybe when the time of Constantine, and we did the research on the word cross, and we showed people it actually was an upright stake with 2 nails, not 3, and that all the truth is coming to light. And what we've really noticed is the Jesuits, the Masons, and all those secret societies have yoked up, and we do believe that they're the ones actually behind this Flat Earth Christian network more than it is the creator, right?
Oh, a lot more. A lot more.
Some of the deceptions that these flat earthers are promoting is that there's a hard physical solid dome, right? And I can debunk it with a matter of seconds. First off, the Tower of Babel, it was being built into heaven so that they could kill God, right? What are they going to do? How are they going to cut through the dome? There is no dome. Okay. The word firmament means skies or heaven, right? Expanse, opening above our heads, the sky where the sun, the moon, the stars, and the birds fly, and the clouds, and the rain comes down from heaven. It doesn't come through a dome, right?
It's just condensation. We're like in a big meat locker.
So they got to have this physical dome.
I'm kidding.
I know. They've got to have a physical dome. They promote the name Jesus, which, sure, if your heart's intentions were to call out to the creator, the Holy Spirit does the translating. But let's be honest, everyone. If my name is Ronnie and you call me Tom, I'm going to say, hey, my name is Ronnie. This is my name. And Yahushua and Yahweh, creator, the YHWH, was simply always the same name because they didn't write the vowels in ancient Aramaic and Paleo Hebrew. The vowel was always ah. So it was Yah, Ha, Wah. That's it. There was the YHWH. And so we have these flat earthers
Hey,
Many of them
brother.
are, yeah,
I got
my sound.
and I've got a question from the chat. DangerMan5 says, does Nathan Roberts promote the AE map?
Are you kidding me? He told me and Jason when we debunked it with him live, he told us on a video next after that not only does he promote it, but that he's going to teach it to children. that was his quote for word response.
Yeah, he's got it in a book on the cover. Yes, he does promote that. He's willing to die for that map and model.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I did have more on the dome debunk, but
no, keep going. I just wanted. I'm sorry.
It's
I knew you knew the answer.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. I recently was given a few debunks that came through the spirit. The one of the other debunks that I was given was that Jeranism has been saying that people in the southern hemisphere in the December, January, February months see the sun. Well, everybody actually sees the sun rising south of east and setting south of west. So if the sun was doing, if it was doing a circle around an AE map, it would never get to the equator. It would always be rising north of the equator and setting north of west, right? Always. And Jaron states that because of the moisture and the atmosphere that we all supposedly see, the sun is actually setting in a completely different position because of the atmosphere. What the message that the Lord gave me was simply that we can actually do a check on humidity and atmosphere and moisture in the air, and we're going to find that it varies every single day. Yet the sunrise and the sunset has never changed. Not once has it ever veered off the path that it's been precisely given by the Creator. Never has it ever. So if one day it happens to be more rain or moisture in the atmosphere, the sun would be setting in a different position than we would be recognizing, because everything we see comes back to our eyes directly in straight lines through the way that we see in this reality. And it completely debunks Jaron. So did you want to make a point on that?
No, we've got a comment from, so Ryan asked the question about, he carried the cross, right? So from the scriptures, I guess that's it's probably one of those scriptures we need to go to the interlinear.
I have an answer for that already, though.
Okay.
It was a staff, right?
Yeah.
Just like the serpent was lifted up, so shall the Son of Man. And that was a reference to a snake around a staff. So if you want to pull that up, Jason, my first response is that they had staffs. They did a lot of walking, so they had walking sticks, right? Because he wants you to walk with him. So get your walking stick and join me, right? Not your cross. People weren't carrying around crosses. The only symbol that was a cross in that time period was an Ankh, which is an Egyptian, Babylonian, satanic deity, not what you think it is in any way. Like the symbol that Prince used was more of the symbol that the cross is. The cross is not a Christian symbol. It's an actual satanic symbol. Right here. Do you think if the cross was a Christian symbol that this super satanic Mason satanic logo would be in? No. Okay, wake up, people. It's time to wake up. Take the crosses off and realize that you've been completely lied to, not only about the cross, but the name Jesus means Hail Zeus in Latin, and in the other it means earth swine, earth pig. They're calling God a pig, an earth pig. His name is Yahushai, which means deliverance.
And that's one of the things that these fake Christian AE map and model flat earthers, they have no problem saying that name Jesus, not one.
And the cross. They're loaded with crosses. This flattening atheism guy, he's got like 3 crosses in his type of logo. Where was it? Are you pulling up the interlinear?
Yeah, I've got it. So let's go through this quick.
See this right here? Just 1 second before you take the screen share.
Yeah.
He's got on his hat this flattening atheism guy who mocks Yahushua all the time. He's got not only one cross, but he's got 3 crosses. I guess that's supposed to be, you know, the 3 people hung up on them. It's also the shape of a trident. Why does he have sunglasses on, this guy? And why does he have everything hidden? He doesn't show you his subscriber count. He keeps everything secretive. And that to me is the first sign of a shill, of someone who's lying to you. Okay. And he openly states that he used to make Christians cry. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's got the punching bag. He's got the bow and arrow. He's got his sunglasses on in the house. Agent. He just reeks of agentness.
Are you going to take the show?
Yep. So if we go back here, a big popular verse with him bearing the cross is John 19:17. And if we go to the interlinear on this, we can see here, and bearing his own cross. All right, so this is Starun 47:16.
My name's in that word. Can you believe that? Wow.
It's a noun, it's masculine. Storos, an upright stake.
So
and then they add a cross, the Roman instrument of crucifixion. So this is one of the things that growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, which yes, they're a cult, and yes, they were formed by the Illuminati and all that, but they had certain truths. And one of the things growing up as a Jehovah's Witness, we always learned that Yahushua did not die on a cross, and that was a satanic symbol, that was idolatry, and it was wrong, that he was actually hung upon a stake, and that's the way the Romans actually did it. So,
well, and the shape of the T here, on the top of the cross, the upright stake, they nailed a placard, right, that said "King of the Jews."
Mm-hmm.
And that's was the shape of a T, people. It was never this cross that you guys have been told. This is an absolute satanic lie.
Mm-hmm.
The definition says it right there. Definition: an upright stake.
Yeah, and that's the way they did it.
Could you also search, like the serpent was lifted up, so shall the Son of Man? Because that scripture is one of the key backers to the point that I'm trying to make. Like the serpent was lifted up, so shall the Son of Man. Thank you. You're such a good speller too. I've been working on it, but there's so many things to keep up with in life, you know. Okay, sorry. Just as Moshe lifted up. You can read it.
Yeah, from the New International. Just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted up.
So what was Moses lifting up the snake on? Was it a cross?
Oh, it's a staff.
It was a staff. An upright stake, a staff. Grab your staff, right?
And that's what they had too. When the people were inflicted and they got bitten, they had to look up at they had a snake up on a post, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. I was reading the comments there. The Buddha said they call me Yahweh. Yahweh is a pagan deity. It's an idol that was worshipped. Yahweh was a desert deity. You can even search that if you want, Jason. YHAHWEH. When you do the actual research, the Buddha onto the Paleo Hebrew. The alphabet consists of Abba, Gada, Hawaza, Lama, Sata. Oh, I think I forgot it. Ipa, Taza, Kathra, and Shah. There was no E, U. None of those sounds existed. There was no V. There was no J. There was no J. It was YHWH, and they didn't write the A because they didn't have to. That was the only vowel that went into it. Yahweh, YHWH. This is the other thing that these fake flat earth Christians, man, I keep waiting. We might have Zen on next week, which would be great because I really want to grill him on a few things as well. But when Zen did his ancient Hebrew studies, I was just waiting. I'm like, I kept checking the videos. When is he? I'm going to wait to see the name Yahweh. Because ultimately, I've done the research. Jason's done the research. So is the Lion of Tribe of Judah and many others. And we all came back with the same results. That when Moses met the burning bush, the Creator said, "My name is Yahweh." And that is to all generations. Right? He didn't say to call me Yahweh. He said Yahweh. And it's written right there in Hebrew. I've even asked people that speak Hebrew. They said that's correct.
Yeah, well, we're going to be continuing to pound on the J and V and where it came from and who first really coined the phrase Jehovah and all of that. So if you take out the J and realize that that was made up some 500 years ago through the Vatican, and you take out the V because it was made up by the same guy at the same time, well, you've eliminated Jehovah completely, right? And then with the Tetragrammaton, the YHWH, sometimes you'll see it YHVH, and as soon as you see that, then you will realize that you're dealing with somebody from the Vatican. It's
because the V was changed from a W. Right. So when it says Yahweh, it was YHWH. And in between the letters, the only vowel and sound that they had was ah. That's it. It was a perfectly simple, well-created language. And honestly, brother, it truly does. It breaks my heart not to see these other supposed Christians sharing this. Why are we the only ones? Like, I really don't understand with this here. So the only Christian that I know of on this list that doesn't share the AE mappa model, who knew right from the start, was Mike Hemlick, right? But he's come out recently and stated that Christians that are telling you that we're in a simulation so that aliens can come. That's his new thing. So absolutely broke my heart. We went down the same path as Mike. We checked the Mercator. We found out that the further you go away from the equator, the map gets blown out to infinity. All of the land masses are distorted way beyond recognition. We've done the research. We know that the scriptures say that there has to be four corners. Four corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four corners. And you can divide up the earth in four quarters as well. But you have to have the four corners. We knew that there was an eastern and a supposedly western Antarctica. And we found out how that worked on the map. We also found out how the sun could possibly rise due east and set due west everywhere on Earth, all on this map from Alpha to Omega. And not only that, but this stereographic projection, this map, actually wraps three-dimensionally to a sphere. And guess what? It actually gives you a tilt of almost 23.5 degrees just on its own, right? This is a two pole. This is one pole. This is a half a pole. This is another half of a pole. We got two poles. And this is a flat earth map, right? Jason?
Yeah, it's all there. We've checked it out over and over and over, and nobody can refute it because it is the most accurate flat map of Earth ever created. That's what the creators of it have said, and nobody's challenged them, and nobody's challenging us. So the only question is Earth a sphere or is it a flat plane? Because if it's a flat plane, then it's this. And if it's not a flat plane, then it's a globe. But then you would have to find 8 inches per mile squared wherever you looked, and you've never seen that. You've never come across that ever. So this
water
is it.
Water can't curve around a ball. We know that water's level because everything that we build in this reality, we use water to level the sides. Okay, it's really basic, right? Not only that, but there are distances at certain points we can see further than the supposed curvature would allow. Like from the top of the Burj Khalifa building, you showed perfectly that the horizon should be dropping way down. It should be way, way down. But yet from that building, the horizon still rises up to pretty much eye level. Really close.
It does. It does. There's photographic evidence of it that you can double check. You can go there. You can film it yourself. And I'd love to see it because it's going to do nothing but confirm that we're on a flat plane.
So go ahead.
I was just going to take the share again for a second because we're on this topic, and then you can have it right back. But we're talking about the name Jesus, right? And so this is something that I captured driving the other day through Austin. And keep in mind, Austin is one of the most satanic cities here in the United States. It's got the University of Texas here. The Longhorns, they flash their devil sign all the time. It's not for the Longhorn, the cattle. It's a bunch of Freemasons. There might be a few more satanic places here in the country, like Portland and Seattle, or San Francisco, but it's not good here. And if you look, you got that tree, the tree of life. This is sort of like the MrThriveAndSurvive symbol. And he's one of the fake flat earth, fake Christian channels that we're going to be going through. And the banner says, "Go Jesus, it's your birthday." Well, any like super dim-witted, barely cognizant truther is going to know that Yahushua was not born December 25th. The scriptures are pretty clear about that. It's always put off in the the early fall time period, September, something like that. And so it's not December 25th. So December 25th relates to the Saturnalia, which is a pagan holiday. It's it's right after the winter solstice, and chances are it's Satan's birthday. So we know that Jesus isn't Jesus because there was no J. This is a Jesuit name. Oh, Jesus, Jesuit.
Yes.
Wow.
They're the ones who came up with the name, the Society of Jesus. That's what Jesuit means.
Yes. They made it up. So, satanic name, which actually can be transliterated Earth Pig, his birthday, December 25th, and then that pagan tree of life over there. And
that's
so
right. This symbol of good or whatever.
Yeah, so this is a shout out from Satanists to other Satanists saying, "Go Satan, it's your birthday. It's your birthday, Satan. It's your birthday. Go Satan, it's your birthday."
It goes a little bit deeper than that. The actual pagan festival that they've attributed to Jesus was broken down in two parts. There was a Yule log festival that was I believe like 3 weeks, where each day they would sacrifice a different animal on the Yule log and burn it to death, leading up to a human on the last day of the celebration, which happened to be the 25th. So that's your Yule time log. Everybody puts the TV on with the fireplace burning, you know, and they open their presents and their pridefulness and their boastfulness and the ungrateful children who didn't get what they wanted and all of that satanic stuff. Not only that, but the holiday that they serve Saturnalia to, where they actually worship the sun and then the death and then the sun coming back, was actually a week of purging. That's where they got the purge from. It was a week where you were allowed to do any disgustingness. And what most likely took place, that they say, was gay public orgies. Okay, right out in the streets. There was no laws. This is what they did. Right. So most of the people that moved to North America, so says the history books, were actually leaving that society. And Christmas was actually banned here in North America until the 1900s. Okay, people, just so you know.
Yep.
And what's with the snowman there? What's going on? The snowman's got a thing around its neck, like a noose. It's lying down.
I told you, man, there's serious Satanism going on down here. That's Freemason Central. And
just so people don't get it wrong, the whole transvestite thing is a throwback to the old pagan Baphomet, right? That was worshipped. And Sodom and Gomorrah. Gomorrah actually means sodomy while defecating, right? So Sodom and Gomorrah were towns that literally were turned to drywall dust. They were like, that's what the drywall is actually made out of the same type of mineral that's left after the, what was it that came? Brimstone came down from the sky. So I guess the brimstone magically transported through the dome, right? And then turn back into brimstone and fire again. No, there's no dome. There's no physical barrier. We live in a spiritual realm that we like to call the simulation of life, the book of life, right? The book, you know, when you're in your computer, when you have a file, a zip file that you have to open up, it's in the shape of books. Okay. We live inside a similar thing that's happening. It's supernatural. It's special, right? Everything's not 99.9% empty. The whole reality here is empty. The only thing that's real is our spirits. What is born spirit is spirit, and what is born flesh is flesh. Do you have anything more to add here?
No. You want to keep going?
Yeah, I'm on fire tonight. Just going with the Holy Spirit. The few other things that I just kind of wanted to quickly add to this before I moved on was this map not only explains everything that I already told you guys, that it wraps to a sphere. So to fool the world that they lived on some sort of spinning ball rocket, they had to have this map. And this is the map that they got, and this is the way they drew it back. As you can see, the original version of this map right here, the C.S. Pierce, this is back in 1894. You know, this was one time when they had really, really good ships, and people with money wanted to know the layout of the land. And guess what, people? These lines here that come down, guess what? They continue right here. Continues around, people. Can you believe that? Everything is connected. All four corners of the earth are connected with the other four corners. And we can look at actual charts and sales, people that have taken trips, and we can find out that some of them went this way to travel to Antarctica. There's so many other clues and interesting things, and the way they've tried to hide it, where they give you the Hotine map, they show you the most accurate land masses, but then they distort it, right? Well, what Jason and I did was we found the best compilation of them. Jason put them together like this and added a map to let Jason run it, because that's who we get called. We don't get called the Limitless Channel and Awake Souls. The shills in the fake flat earth community call us Ronnie and Jason. So we put Ronnie and Jason on the map. Okay. Not only does the map do all those things, but it's touted as the most accurate map with all of the land masses, where the most skewed that the map might be is relegated to the oceans. Okay. So you can't differentiate where there's even at the poles, it says. So not only that, but it also does away with what we have today. We have what's called two poles. We have a magnetic pole and we have a north pole, right? We have a true north and we have a magnetic pole. There's two different places that, because if you're standing here in Canada, right, you're the compass is curving inwards. These lines here, so these are what do away with room lines, right? On a ball, to explain this, they have to have what's called room lines. You were the guy that really broke that, right?
Yeah, well, it's spherical trigonometry versus planar trigonometry. And a straight line on a sphere will become a room line, but a room line on a sphere will become a straight line on a flat map. So what drawing a straight line on this map right here is the it's dead reckoning, and it's also what's the word? Can't think of the word right now, but
this is the way the path would work, right? These red lines, if you were to be traveling, you'd when we draw a line like this and wrap it to a sphere, it becomes a great circle route, right? And what happens is, to dead reckon in reality, we have to figure out how to plot a straight path along this map. So this is actually the most accurate map we've searched. You know, I've got 5 terabytes of maps and me screen recording, just reading and going over Euclidean geometry and just reading and studying. And Jason and I came to the understanding, and the way that I found this map was because Globebusters was showing the sky version of this map. They have one that's laid out the exact same way stereographically, and each square corresponds with a certain part of the sky. The sun and the moon and all the stars run along this path. And when this is projected to a sphere, these lines become straight.
So Funsweed is in the chat and says that Ronnie and Jason in one of their vids say a 24-hour sun in the summer solstice is not possible on the Earth. Drive the Dempster Highway in Canada to Inuvik and you will see it. So Funsweed, Ronnie and I have looked extensively for any evidence of a 24-hour sun that does not set below the horizon, right? It stays above the horizon for 24 hours because we're fully aware that it stays light out 24 hours at the high latitudes. And we're fully aware that the length of day is very, very long, but we don't have any examples where the sun doesn't set for it's like 2-3 hours. It goes down and it comes back up, but it's down everywhere on Earth. We've got 0 examples of it. So if you have one that's not a fake one, like the other 6 or 7 that they have on YouTube,
only 3.
Only 3. Yeah.
Every other one, they'll say that the 24-hour sun, and then it turns into what's called the midnight sun, and it turns out that the sun is setting in all the videos. It sets.
It does.
As you can see on the map, this really, really, really oblong shaped circle here, this would be the absolute most northern path. This is where in the summertime you're going to see the sun go all the way around. It's going to go all the way up here, but it's always going to set, because everybody that navigates the Earth knows, Jason, which way does the sun set on Earth? Which way does the sun travel?
Always from east to west. Nobody's ever seen it travel from west to east.
Never. The sun, and I believe there's even a biblical scripture as well, maybe from the book of Enoch, that says that when the sun is seen rising from the east, traveling back west, we're in like the end time. That's it. This is like the last, because if you were to be navigating, you'd be following the sun. You'd be going east, right? The sun does not rise in the west ever. It's never traveling east. It's never been recorded. And that's how we explain it right here. This is the little jump here And the day has to start and end. There's never been a day that doesn't start and end. Now, I do believe that there's some serious darkness because the sun right now is traveling along this yellow line. Literally, right now, the sun is way down here, right? It's rising south of Australia and setting south of Australia.
Keep in mind, it's not a physical object traveling above that line. That would not explain our sunrises and sunsets in our local circles of sight. That yellow line represents where the sun will be 90 degrees overhead at solar noon. That's what that line represents. But it's not a physical object. It's not drifting up there 32,000 or 3,000 miles up.
And the easy way to debunk it all is that someone here in Texas, right? They can see the sun over here. Someone here in Australia sees a orange sun rising, while this person in Texas sees a yellow, bright or white colored, because we all know that the sun is actually white. It's not yellow. There'll be a white sun up in the sky. And this completely proves that everybody has their own sun stars that rise and set in their local 6-mile circle of sight everywhere on Earth. And that's how we can tell, because depending on where you are on this map, that's when the sun is going to come through and its supposed path on its theoretical path, but really it'll be in your small circle of sight. And the other way we can tell this is that there can be clouds in front of the sun for Jason here in Austin, but yet somebody in Flat Earth, Texas or whatever, they can see no clouds behind the sun. Right? If the sun was literally behind everything, there's no way you could have clouds behind the sun in one area and then the sun high up in the sky in another area. It doesn't work. It physically doesn't work. As well, the sun rises and sets over a flat plane.
Yep. So you want to go through the list?
Yeah, I'm ready. Here it is, people.
This was prepared by Nathan Roberts and shared by eftupworld, 2 channels that we've been able to identify as satanic disinformation outlets because they promote the AE map and model. And so nobody that's for the truth is ever going to get behind that map and model because it's so easily debunked. And so that's why I can say that there are no true Christians that promote the AE map and model, because all these people are fully aware of what we've been saying for the last how many years now. And nobody that's a true seeker within the flat earth movement just hasn't found out that the AE map and model doesn't work. Everybody's heard at some point that we've debunked it for a long time now. And
they've done their own observations and they verified it, right? We haven't been debunked or challenged on any of the points at all.
Well, in all these channels, these are the channels that when we go to leave comments, all they do is automatically block us. And then we make another channel, and then we make a comment, and then they block it. And we make another channel, and then they block it. And so these people are dead set on promoting something that is an outright lie and impossible. And well, it's going to be coming to an end soon. It really is. This doesn't go on forever. And to be impersonating a Christian or a truther is, it's a heavy, heavy, heavy sin in the Bible that it sends you to the worst of the hells. Well, so there's many different levels of hell, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the people that teach false doctrine,
yes,
they get it worse than everybody else, right?
Yeah, type it into the interlinear while we go over this if you want to really bang home that point. So you got, another thing that I want to point out, these few first channels, these check marks, these are what's called verification badges for the channels that YouTube is going to put at the top of the search results. Okay. These are given to what you could say is YouTube employees. Okay. Now, if anybody doesn't know, YouTube is one of the most liberal, left, satanic websites right after Google, which is located at 666 latitude and longitude. You got YouTube that's owned by Google. So since the time that Trump took office, 2017, 2016, if you've been telling the truth, you have been completely censored, right? Your videos were flagged. Right after that, your views were gone. Jason and I get hundreds of views. Jason just released the first spin of a flywheel free energy spinning wheel. It should have got hundreds of thousands of views. What did you get? 400 views?
Yeah.
Nobody here on this list that I'm about to show you right now is trying to better humanity by coming up with free energy devices, fuelless generators. That's what we bring here. Okay. And we are the most censored YouTube people going. I'm sure there's other channels that are just as censored, but if you have verification badges, if you've got 164,000 subscribers and you're getting hundreds of thousands of views, it's because you're not on Team Truth. You're on Team Satan. Okay. I want to make that super clear. And if anybody on this list wants to prove me wrong, put out some videos and tell the truth. Stand up and say, I was wrong about the AE map. Okay. Come out, repent, speak the truth, and I'll take you off this list. But this list is going to stay up. It's going to be super keyed. Every one of these channels is going to have a tag in the description box, and they'll be searchable by anybody that walks this realm at any time on this website and many others. And I'm calling out one more time to these people. Repent, come out, and tell the truth. The A map model doesn't work. It's not biblical. The Bible does not say the two words flat earth. Okay, this is the thing that I'm just getting so irritated about. You got Zoom Truth. This is a new guy. He's been on our channel. He's seen us debunk the AE map model, yet I still see him out on the street printing out banners, cards, flyers, telling people that the sun circles above our head, and due to perspective in the atmosphere, it rises and sets in different places. Like, when are people going to wake up? The sun doesn't circle above our heads like that. It rises and sets, and that's biblical. These people are, look at this one, MrThriveAndSurvive. So he's kind of come out and said that he doesn't believe in the AA map, but guess which map he supports?
The Freemason one?
The Mercator.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. Because, I'll debunk this live too, because I did the research, people. You see the size of these grids? Jason? Can you tell me, can I ask you just a simple question? You're not prepped on this. Oh, I wonder why it does that. What's this? Do you see a difference from the size of the grid here for the size of the grid here?
Yeah, it totally elongates.
Mm-hmm. It's not right. Okay,
no.
People, it skews to infinity, right? What you need to have a working map and model is where it's a lot more equal. Okay, the Earth itself can be done that way, but the problem is that they have to mix. Then we got this map. This is the one that Free Energy and what's his name? What's his name? Series?
Yeah.
This is the one that they promote, this oblong shape. It's still wrong, people. I'm sorry, but this is not Antarctica. This isn't right. And the land masses are completely skewed again. So we keep going. We get the progression, then we get the cylindrical one. This one here is actually a lot closer, but still here in the south, it's totally skewed. Right? And everything gets thrown off again. So this is what map creators have been trying to alleviate the whole time. Now here, this one here is a little bit better, but again, they're still misrepresenting this area right here between Russia and Alaska. This is your hidden land, flat earthers. This is the spot where they've completely lied to you. And I always wondered, why would Canada give the United States a huge chunk of land that's thousands of miles away from their border? Why would they do that? Well, when you start to figure out that it's actually a huge, monstrous place with tons of commodities, oil and diamonds and gold, just mountains and hundreds of thousands of miles, right? It's huge on our map. Look at the size of this thing. This is the touted as the most accurate land mass ever created cartography map. This is it. Look at how much land there is. And Russia, Putin, he actually gave away, if you move out there and have a plan to set up a septic tank and build a house, he gave away all this land to anyone in the world. Did you know that?
It's north though, man. You gotta like the cold if you want to go up there.
It does have a really nice summer, right? We're getting more south the further you go around. But yeah, up here in these areas here, you do have more of a winter, but it does still, it is nice. But I'll get back onto this topic again. So Mr. Thrive and Survive, he promotes the wrong map. I just showed you the Mercator's wrong, right? The sun doesn't rise due east and set due west. Jason's modeled it up really well. So we'll just keep going here on this. We'll just follow the lines around. Big flat earth Christians, right? We got Dean Odle. Now, I don't mind Dean. I like some of his sermons. I like what he says. He says he can call the name Jesus. He's seen the name Jesus save so many people. And it's true, right? But when you're confronted with the truth, just like he also promotes that there's clouds behind the sun, right, Jay?
Yeah. Yeah, he does. But
apparently, so the drama that goes on, Rob Skiba lives in Dallas, and this Flatworth guy lives in, what's the name of this town?
It's
Fort Worth. Fort Worth. He lives in Fort Worth, and he's getting married to a girl that he met in a Canadian conference with Robbie Davidson, Celebrate Truth. And so Rob Skiba and Dean Odle have been warring with each other, but Dean is going to be the minister or the pastor that's going to marry these two, right? And Dean opted out of the conference this year because he said it was satanic, and they pushed Nathan Roberts, and they pushed all the true supposed flat earthers off to the backstage, even though they still had them there and promoted the false AU map and model. So this is all the drama that you got going on right now. So, it just absolutely drives me nuts. They all know this doesn't work. When we asked them where the four corners are, Nathan Roberts was the first one. He tried to say that it was at the center of the map.
Yeah, go stand at the center of the map and figure out which way is south from there. Which way would you go?
It's not, you can't even navigate on this map. You can't. There is no north is in and south is out. What? Like it's
yeah, if you're at the center of the map, right there under Polaris, right? And you want to go south, which quarter are you going to go into? Because south is everywhere on that map. Every single direction when you're going towards the outside is south. That doesn't work. Doesn't work.
No, there's a strike here for a reason. Yeah. I didn't just put it there because it looks nice. I don't know this Bill Keith guy, but he made the list.
I think you could argue that.
I don't know who this is, man. I guess he's promoted. He's being promoted, right? Look, he's got a strike right here too. So yeah, he's with the crew. I don't know him, but he's promoting the lies and deception. Russian Vids, who I heard him once on the Sun and Moon crew with like, is he really in the movement anymore? I don't know. I don't know if people out there still follow him. I know that he spouts a bunch of lies. He's been exposed as a Decepticon many, many times as someone who hides his identity and is supposedly just a troll. He's, working to round people up while telling lies with truths, right? He's the guy who says they tell all truth in the movies and they tell lies on the news. So you got Russian Vids yoked up. Like I said, Nathan's got he's in this list here. Russian Vids is a vegan as well that promotes veganism and pushes that and completely disregards the scriptures constantly. So we got Dean.
Yeah, these are people that will occasionally say that they're Christians. Russian Vids has said that he's a Christian, but he's on there with all the Satanists. The Sun and Moon Group, Pat Steer. He takes every opportunity he can to be on with the satanic channels.
Well, I can tell you right now, I don't know who this channel is, Living Life Abundantly. Right away, I'm subscribed to this channel. This is a fellow brother. I shouldn't say fellow because that's a Mason term. This is another brother who's watching really closely for the return of the Creator. And me and Jason have had this discussion many times. Should we mock and put down Christians that are searching for the return of the Creator? What do you think, Jason? Even if they might be wrong.
Well, no, we're watchmen. That's what we're called out to be, as watchmen looking. And if you scroll back up, I think I know who this guy is. Yeah, he's the guy, I think, unless if this is another channel reposting, if you go down a little bit. I think that's him in the blue shirt.
Maybe you might be right. 13,000 subscribers? Wow.
Yeah, he had a different name.
His title is 13,000 subscribers.
Okay, I remember where he came from. He showed up on Nathan Roberts' channel, worshiping Nathan for his book that's filled with lies.
And I've already called him out for the brick wall. He had it before behind him, and then he was like, no, I'm not a Freemason. And now he's got it again. And this is different. So he's all about having the brick wall behind him. And yeah, this is a guy, he totally preys upon people too. He gets people confiding in him. He gets into their personal business. And it looks like he's just a really sick Freemason. Wow. I had no idea he was at this level of bad right now.
Well, the place that he's got the light here and the candles and this screen is, and then the pillow says laugh. To me, this guy really does, it comes across as not a Christian. Look, he's got whoever this is. Was this flattening atheism with a NASA hat on with devil horns? Don't tell me that's what it is. All right. Okay. No, it's this other guy, the British guy that just mocks flat earthers, right? Oh, it's cool. It's good. It's good. Right. No, this guy is not good. He's making it funny that NASA stole like trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars for lies. He thinks it's funny. He wants you to sing along with him and laugh. What is this? Many flat earthers going to hell? This guy is calling out flat earthers. Well, he's calling out fellow Christians who are seeking the return of the Creator and saying that their father is Satan. Like, that is a complete. I also know this channel, Blue Heaven. Not everything that she says is I can verify, but she has dreams and tells her story, and she's waiting for the Creator. And I believe her. She's got more emotion and more truth behind what she talks about than any of these fake Christians. Any of them.
Look at his latest repost. It was
Dearth video.
It was. There it is. Mind control.
Mind control on flat earth, people. Guess what the video's full of?
Mind control.
And the other thing is he's trying to steal my name here. thinks he's funny with the limitless word, but he doesn't realize that my channel is dedicated to the limitless living creator, Yahweh. Okay.
There's a lot of Satanists trying to steal from you right now. I heard Elon Musk, he's got this new tunnel thing that's like total crap, and he's trying to call it limitless. I'm like, not that crap. You're the real limitless, man.
Amen, brother. So I guess that's enough on this guy. The David Weiss, the video that he's sharing people. This is a Jew who says he's a Jew. He's an Ashkenazi who's actually on SoundCloud on his Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole podcast, making the absolute most disgusting gay sex jokes, talking about having his anus bleached. This guy is absolutely disgusting, hates God, believes that there are 4 or 5 different suns and that each civilization has followed the sun out, and that's your supposed aliens. They're following a sun on the way outside circles of the earth. That's what he teaches. And then it goes on forever. Limitless AE map and model.
And then Jaron thinks that the people on the outside ones are throwing snowballs, and that's what we see as comets.
Comets, yeah. Snow down from the walls. So that's this Christian here. He made the list. Who else do we have? I don't know who this Dr. Lee is, but I guess he was another one that Nathan was the network.
I've seen him around a couple of times.
I don't know him. Well, I know this book right here is full of lies. It's been debunked. So you got Dr. Lee. Did we miss someone up here? Nope. Keep moving on. I did put this link in the chat. This link will be in the description as well. Now, I don't think D Marble is an outspoken Christian, but I could have swore that I remember in the beginning that, he was saying that he believes in Jesus. He's on their team, right? And
he's on the team. Same team. # same team.
He's got the AE map model offensive, right? Which is completely debunked. He's got these fangs that I addressed. Not that you can't have fangs, but his response to where the fangs came from was he said he chipped a tooth and he filed his front teeth down. And he was left with perfect teeth with 2 bicuspid fangs or whatever, canine fangs. That's what this man said live. I've got it recorded. He said it. And he's a Mason. I'm almost without a doubt. And so is this guy. And IPS had them all on a podcast with, that's someone who I don't have on this list. Maybe we should add him live. Rolling ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you talk while I do this live?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna add Rick Hummer to the list now. To the I forgot.
I gotcha. So, for those that may just be joining right now, what we're doing is we're going through the list that was provided by eftupworld, and it's the same list as the one originally provided by Nathan Roberts. And what this is a list of people that claim to be Christians and claim to be flat earthers, but they all stand by and stick with the AE map and model. And that is the Freemasonic New World Order map. So is anybody that's looked into flat earth ever come across the UN map, right? It's got 33 degrees to it, and it looks like the same map that all these fake flat earthers are promoting. They stick to this, they adhere to this, and then we have an elite group of people that claim to be Christians that try to tie this to the Bible, and they always want to use the King James version of the Bible. King James was a Freemason. And, you know, King James gave the translation of the Bible in English to Sir Francis Bacon, who was recognized as like the head of the Rosicrucians, which is another secret fraternal organization. And so they try to tie the Bible to the AE map model, where the sun and moon are doing circles, that we're in some sort of enclosed world, that the firmament is like a dome. They try to tie it to a dome. They try to make Antarctica an ice wall that extends all the way around the outside of Earth. These things are made up and part of a top-down polar projection of the globe. That's what they're presenting, as a projection of the globe, but the globe isn't the truth. The globe is the lie. So it's a false dichotomy. And to make a projection of the globe like that is, well, it's sort of comprehensible and works in the northern hemisphere, but it absolutely does not work in the southern hemisphere, especially this time of the year. We're coming up to the worst time of the year for the AE map model. If anybody has a single doubt in their mind if the AE map model is true, all you have to do is find a webcam from the south of the equator, and what you're going to see is the sun rising from the south of east, setting to the south of west. And this path is impossible in the AE map model. Ronnie took some time earlier to show that what guys like Jaron, the Jesuit, are saying, as far as, you know, it's like a snow globe. Look at this magnifying glass. It's shaped like a snow globe, and see how everything's distorted. Well, no, it's not distorted. Every one of us can take a look at something like timeanddate.com, and based by our latitude and longitude, we know exactly what angle the sun's going to rise at and set at every single day, no matter what our atmospheric conditions are. It's always spot on. So, you know, sometimes we can see the sun and moon clear, and sometimes there might be some clouds or something that's making it difficult to see, but they're always in their correct spot. They're never distorted, ever.
Look at how hidden this guy is, man. Supposedly a flat Earth star. You cannot find him.
You gotta add an E between the L and D.
Oh. Could that have been why? This guy, he's not no, maybe that's not even what his channel's name is, but that's what his icon says. Leveled out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
So,
yeah, you can't find Rick Hummer rolling ready.
He's been wiped, huh?
Yeah, it's incredible, man. Why can't I find his channel?
Been scrubbed.
That's crazy. I really wanted to add him to the list. But it doesn't look like I can find this guy's channel. Did they take down the Rolling Ready? I don't know, man.
Try it on YouTube.
See, there's his icon, right?
Yeah.
This is him basically being called out.
But instead, what did Rick do? Rick
as a Freemason by IPS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this channel re-uploaded at MGTV, I guess. I'm surprised I can't even find you would think you could find this guy. Oh, here we go. Rolling ready, right? He's got everything hidden. This might not even be his channel, but it probably is. Let's see. Yeah, I guess this is him. So yeah, here I'll add it in.
That's your head of FE core right there. He's the head of it. I just want to add that this Friday night is going to be a super pumped up and exciting night because there's something that came up recently. For those that have been following along, a little while back, I was talking about how I had been texting with my dad, and then my mom decided to send me a letter, and then she sent me a follow-up letter, and all she was doing was regurgitating satanic propaganda. And I had said something like, I'm going to make a video about this, and I haven't yet, but something's come up where I came across a bunch of stuff about Sir Isaac Newton, the father of gravity, and considered the greatest scientist of modern time. And so Friday, what I would like to do is go through and really super expose Sir Isaac Newton, the Freemason way. He was above Freemason. He was the Grand Master of some other fraternal organization, secret society. We'll go through all the details, but I just want everybody to know that this coming Friday night, the Hangout should have a title something to the effect of Mystery Babylon Identified. And this will actually coincide with the winter solstice. So this Friday night will be December 21st, and the winter solstice, which actually coincides with, we're going to have a full moon, because remember, the biblical day went from sundown to sundown, so it was on 2 days all the time. So now when we talk about December 21st, it's like half of December 21st and half of December 22nd, because we always have 2 days traveling across the face of Earth all the time, the way the sun rises and sets. So on Friday, we'll have the winter solstice, we'll have the full moon, and this is actually going to be 7 years, 7 months, 7 days from when Israel was born again. All right, so we have that
70 years, 7 months, and 7 days.
Mhm.
Will be the 21st, 22nd.
Yes.
Right. And we're going to be, that's Friday.
Yeah, and we've already got planned a super expose on Mystery Babylon. We're going to reveal who Mystery Babylon is.
It pretty much does away with excuse me, all of the globe theories. It's going to be great. But so as you can see, I've added, you guys saw how I did that. I added Rolling Ready Rick Hummer. So he's been added to the list. He's another supposed Christian that promotes the AE map and model. And he mocks Flat Earth. We got Robert Forsch. Now, Jason and I, we met him years ago with the Sun and Moon group in the secret hangout on Facebook. I remember I brought you in there, and Robert was he was filming a lot. He still films a lot. His channel used to be called Eternal Perspective. right? It was a great channel name. He did a lot of work, right? Did I lose you?
Oh, nobody puts out more minutes of content than this guy. He just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes like the Energizer Bunny.
So, the sad thing is, he does weird things and he does interesting things as well by reversing his film and showing you how the reflections match. He shows you that there's clouds behind the sun. So I give him credit for that. The sad thing is that he's admitted that, he might be a Netflix star. And, I think some of these Christians might be out here for the publicity. They want to be YouTube stars. They want to be known for something, not the truth, because so he changed his channel name to the word truth. And it's really sad because he's buried himself in the search results. So Eternal Perspective was a great name that was pretty unique. Now he switched it to truth and he's got the YouTube icon as his logo.
Yeah, he's completely unsearchable.
You can't find.
Mm-hmm. He gives Wisconsin a bad name. He really does. He
does nice footage.
I know, but he's from like Neenah, which is 40 minutes away from where I lived in Wisconsin growing up, and I'm just really disappointed. I would have hoped that somebody from Wisconsin would stick with the truth, especially if your channel name is The Truth. But at no point has this guy ever called out the AE map and model. In fact, he just eats it up, and he's promoted by the AE map and model people. But he's used as a patsy. He's made to look crazy.
Or drunk. They tried to make him look like a drunk at the Flat Earth conference. It was sad.
Yeah, but he's all up for it. He's TV celebrity wise, and he wants to be famous. And there's always got to be the idiot that gets picked on, and he's volunteered for that role.
Well, and the other thing too is he's a Bible believer. He says he's born again, and he films the sunrise and sunset almost every day. Okay, there's no atmospheric pop bottle glasses that's making the sun rise south of you and set south of you, going away from you, not circling around you, going the opposite direction. He has more than enough evidence. So that's him. We've got this guy here, FiredFORTRUTH. What do you think of him?
Brand new on the scene, brought in by who brought him in?
The whole crew. Robbie Davidson, Nathan Roberts, they all had him on their show. Everyone.
Yeah. Promoted like he was some Christian pastor, but he was fired for Flat Earth. But right away, just towing the line right in there with the AE map model people, and absolute disregard for the truth. That's the Freemason satanic model.
Mm-hmm. There's a good chance he's probably a Freemason as well. He's only got 12,000 views, so that's super low. But he was at the conference and given a chance to speak.
Oh, wow.
He just found Flat Earth like less than a year ago, and he's promoting lies and deception. And he says he's a man of God. He's a truth teacher. So
have you ever been invited to be a speaker at the Flat Earth convention?
No. And to be honest with you, I was the first one to suggest. You know what? I don't need credit. I don't care about the credit. But I was the one. I've got the video up. I've said that I was going to have Jaron there and everybody, and we were going to do it at the CN Tower. There's this super nice big screen filming area with seating in the basement of the CN Tower. And then we were going to go up like 1,200 feet into the air, and we could skywalk with harnesses on and photograph across Lake Ontario and the Flat Earth of Ontario. And I planned it all, and I was going to do it, right. It was a super, super difficult thing. I probably wouldn't have been able to fund it, right? Because I wasn't about taking money, but it was me that really said that we need to get together. And I wanted it to be this amazing, high-end, super good videos shared, with a balloon launch one day, with presentations and different models and maps and whoever's theories the next day. But it had to be high-quality video, and I was really looking for a charismatic group, right? And I got disowned from the community, and they started doing conferences themselves. And no, they've never invited me, and I don't care, right? It's because they know what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, well, this doesn't work.
Before you go on too much further, I just want to point out, it says that Fired for Truth. It's Nate Wolf, right?
Yeah, another Nathan. Yeah, Nate Wolf.
All right. So in the entire time that I've been on YouTube, putting out content and dealing with comments and everything, every single wolf that I've ever come across has been a Satanist, like Wolfie 6020, and there's been hundreds of other wolf named channels, and they always have like this satanic wolf image with the like demon blue eyes and stuff like that. But if there's a wolf in the name, usually you're dealing with an actual Satanist. A wolf in sheep's clothing. That's the way they do it. It's not his real name. Not usually. It'd be quite the coincidence if it was.
That's what he's going by. And you can see, look at the angle of the shelf in the background. Maybe it's just the camera. Right? I don't know. No, it's not level. It's not level. You could, oh no, might be the, but this word exposed should be on top of this book. Lots of cross symbolism, the trident, the three crosses. I really don't feel the Holy Spirit working through these men. And I feel if it was, they would be telling the truth. So then we got FlatOUTELECTED, who I've called out and been on his podcast. He's a Canadian. He's from my neighborhood. He's from Mount Albert, Ontario, Hall Landing. I grew up, a bunch of my years of life. I played baseball and hockey there, Sharon Arena. This guy's got a jolly, loving spirit. When I was on his podcast, I said, hey, Rand, his name's Rand. I said, you need to get a better mic. He was screaming into his laptop, and I said, you need to get a better mic, and you have a radio voice, man. I was all for it. I said, hey, but the AE map model doesn't work, and I showed him why. I said, that's not biblical. We have the four corners, right? And he continues to promote the AE map and model, and he promotes Satanists. He says he's going to love everybody, and he basically thinks that I'm causing distraction. He's got this new mic, Jason, and he still doesn't have it set up right. After all the calling out and all the disinformation that he's promoted, I've reached out to him on G+, and I said, hey man, I want to help you get your sound right. Cause he actually is on a radio show now on, Zen Garcia is on a radio. What is it called? Robbie Davidson has his own show now. He's got two shows. They've all yoked up together, Paul and the Plane. So it's not TFR, but it's another one that rivals TFR. What is it called? Blog Talk Radio, maybe? Or he's in Studio A and Studio B. So Rand actually got a spot talking on the radio. And I just wish that he would expose the lies and deception that the AE map model is not biblical, right? The sun does rise and set, and there's four corners to the earth, and that the Bible is true. And the Bible doesn't say flat earth, right? Do you want to make any points about Rand?
For the most part, he's one of the guys that doesn't say too many lies, just a little bit here and there, but he's definitely part of the network. He toes the line for the AE map model, and for that, I mean, that makes you a Satanist. If you're going to sit there and promote a lie when you've been shown that it does not work whatsoever, and that it's Freemasonic, that it's satanic in origin, New World Order.
He's getting similar views to you, 300, 500, 400. Yet he supposedly has 12,000 subscribers, right, people?
Yeah,
I don't
who
know.
knows what's going on with that? That's craziness.
I don't know who this John Foss is. Do you know who John Foss is?
There was a couple names on the list that I wasn't familiar with. I would say like 90% of them I know. This is one of the ones I wasn't familiar with.
Me too, but he's heavily promoting the Nathan Roberts crew, the effed up worlds, who we told right from the beginning, effed up world, man, your name's got a curse word in it. And he was teaching in front of a black and white spiral right here that also has a 666 in it.
Does.
Right. We told him that, and he said, "Oh, you guys called me a Satanist." And well, Jason, you did. You called him a Freemason Satanist. And I said, "I'll let your fruit be the judge." The same thing I said to Caleb. We'll get to him. He's on the list as well. But he's promoting that the beast that rises up from the sea that has the horns, he's saying that that's SpaceX, and Elon Musk is the Antichrist. And, you know, some of the stuff is interesting, but the problem I have with that is that whole scripture is explained in the Bible. They say that the horns are the kings of the earth and the nations. So we know that it's not a representation of the rockets, even though, you know, astronauts saying they're going to space. The only one that went up into the heavens was the one that came down, which was Yahushai, right? As far as we know. Did we see Elijah go up into the sky, or did he go out? Because Enoch took days, and half of the nation followed him and died, right? They followed Enoch, because I don't know if they went up like Yahushai, but he is pointing out that SpaceX is saying that they're going into the heavens, and but he's promoting so much bad stuff, though.
But in my opinion, effed up world, out of all these fake Christian, fake flat earthers, he might be the dumbest and the most of a reject. I don't think anybody in this group right here has any respect for him. And I think he's the black sheep of the crowd, and he's trying to fit in, but I don't think he has the mental wherewithal to be able to do so. And I think he's an Achilles heel. I think everything that comes out of his mouth is something that is detrimental to their entire network. He's a huge liability. And I think the team is a moron for allowing him to be around, but it's okay with me because he helps us expose them. So, you know, as long as he keeps opening his mouth, he's just making it easier to identify the rest of the satanic shills.
Look at his content, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be intentional. I don't think anybody's actually that moronic to be able to.
I'll go back to where I was.
Seriously.
So we had Fired for Truth. We talked about John Foss. We got Nathan Thompson, who used to go around as Zetetic. What did he have him? He has him listed here as Zetetic Astronomy.
Mm-hmm.
So his original channel name was exactly from the Freemason. We call Freemason Robotham, but they, you know, he wasn't supposedly, even though that he was in a Freemason debating club, right?
Zetetic societies were Freemason debating clubs. That's what they were.
But this guy doesn't want to debate us because we'll absolutely destroy. He knows because we've had Derek Laborde doing an amazing job, totally ripping this guy apart. We've exposed this guy enough lately. All of his lies. He is just one of the worst fake flat earth Christians in the network.
Well, and he's at a scumbag level where he was sitting with Pat and like treating Pat like she was some sort of legitimate truther. If he was a Christian, he would have been calling her out as a Satanist because she denies and hates the God of the Bible completely. So, I mean, you can see it every time. In the interview that they just did, she had to sort of acquiesce to the Christians a little bit because he claims to be a Christian, right? She can't create conflict with a hashtag same team member. But putting those two together side by side, it's that kind of stuff that just exposes and makes so ridiculous this satanic network.
And this guy flies around. His job, he said on Patricia Shear's show, is to go around and talk about flat Earth. I don't know. He didn't explain how much he gets paid, but he's a supposed Christian. He's a vegan. He says that anybody that eats rotting flesh is disgusting and satanic. He said that the Bible says, he said that none of the food at the grocery store, none of the meat is kosher. He said, you guys aren't eating Levitical kosher meat like in the Bible. And like that. It's so stupid.
I'll be right back.
So we could expose this guy till the cows come home. This guy is super, super sick, satanic. He was fake crying on the Patricia Steer show. What else did I want to say about this guy? I'll debate this guy. And if we look at his views here, he supposedly has over 100,000 people in his Flat Earth versus Globe Earth discussion group on Facebook. Go ahead. You can. We're promoting all these people. You should go over there and tell them all the lies that they spell out and confront them on their lies. That's what I want people to do, but I don't want anyone to do anything that the Spirit doesn't lead them to do. But if he supposedly has over 105,000 subscribers on his Facebook channel and he's posting his videos, every one of them on that, why is he only getting a few hundred views? That doesn't add up to me. That's a huge problem for me. If you're going around telling people that your Facebook group has hundreds of thousands of people, there's something wrong with your Facebook group. It's not working. You're not getting any views, right? I'm sorry, you're fake. Your people on Facebook are probably faked. You only have maybe a few. He did curse you out, Derek? Well, people don't like the truth, man. They hate it. They hate me and Jason. We're hated. People literally hate me. I get the Baphomet sign from people that I've never even talked to. Like they just want to kill me and drink my blood. It's disgusting what the hatred out there is. I'm a nice, loving guy. Jay?
Yeah. So Derek said he got cursed out by Nathan, and he came back with love. That's the best way to do it. When you're coming from a position of truth, you can deliver like super, super strong words, and it's no skin off of your back, all right? But it burns. It just burns the other people. And it's a very common reaction for people to lash out like that. And it's also a sign of where they stand as a person emotionally and in their whole thought process. And, it just is what it is. You can stand back and witness it. I feel bad for these people because they are gambling with not just their life, but their eternal life. And wow.
I know.
It's like they're at the casino. They're playing roulette, and for some reason that they think that the roulette wheel has both black and red numbers, but it turns out all the numbers are black, and they bet on red. They don't have a single chance, but they're going for it anyway, and they're going to lose everything. And wow. I don't know.
It was funny. I'm with you, bro. It takes nothing to say I was wrong. The AA map's wrong. I'm still going to search. That doesn't mean that the Earth is a ball, even though that the sun rises and sets. It doesn't mean we live on a curved Earth, because we already know when we measure, water always levels itself out at rest. I noticed Parable of the Vineyard. He's got 63,000 subscribers. When we found him, he had under 12, maybe under 7. I don't want to say a few thousand even, but because I can't remember, but he was a guy who was speaking about the Revelation 12 sign. He seemed really, really genuine. I instantly started sharing his stuff.
Yeah, I recommended him a whole bunch of times during that time period.
He had the Revelation 12 sign in 5 minutes. It was a great video. You can see here, I've got it in the thumbnail. Because we want to promote people that are telling the truth. So there was this guy, Adam, and he ended up not bringing us onto his hangout. I tried for over a year to, hey man, let us come on and share the truth of the flat Earth and
yeah, we tried to have him on our hangouts.
Tried to have many times. Tried to have him. He was even in the chat. We gave him the phone number. He was going to call. He might have called one time and we weren't online. Remember, something happened. Nothing but love for the guy. Then he brings Rob Skiba on. And Rob Skiba comes on and does the dome, the terrarium, the AE map model. He went as far as taking the tabernacle from the desert where Moses was constructed. And Rob has something where this guy says, well, when you take away this dimension and then boom, it becomes a circus tent. And he was teaching all this on Adam's channel. We confronted Adam about it. And we said, hey, we know that you're ex-military and this Justin guy that has now got the channel Christian Truthers from another channel that was called Christian Truthers that had hundreds of thousands of subscribers. He just walked away. And then this channel showed up with the name, who is also in an ex-military. And then all of a sudden, all these guys are ex-military or ex-New World or New Agers. So it turns out he's part Jewish, and he's been promoting Rob Skiba and the Torah and the curse, basically. I don't know how much more really to say. We exposed that, he could be. The military touts right now that they have thousands and thousands of agents online right now in all communities infiltrated. They started their cyber domain work years and years ago, probably 10 years ago. They started creating bots and trolling channels like this to create division. Because Jason, you're the one who says it all, that they love to divide, round you up and divide you, right?
Yeah, though. So it's all done with channels now. I mean, we're in 2018 and this whole conversation's on YouTube. So they round you up into a channel and they they deliver a message that people's cognitive dissonance resonates with. And then you go in there and you become comfortable and you feel like you fit in and you found your place, and then they'll divide that. Somebody will step up and accuse somebody of something, then there'll be a split, and you either stay with this one or you go with that one. And then based on that, so they flow chart, the Satanists flow chart you through their network, and they see what level of truth you're falling to. And honestly, if you're getting close to the truth, there's a good chance that you'll actually pick up a personal detail. You'll have some shill attach himself to you, come in, confide you, tell you, you know,
your videos are great. Share your videos.
But then they'll come in and they'll talk the crap about the real truth. They'll be like, yeah, no, I wouldn't listen to this person. I wouldn't listen to that person. They'll start
flipping the disinformation. Or because this has happened to me numerous times in the truth movement, let alone way before Flat Earth this happened to me. They come in and they go in the back chats and they say, can you believe that Jason called Gen 6 Project a Satanist? Or, you know, they just cause controversy. So what they do is they want to set up the false dialectic. So you got the AE map or the globe. They want you to go to one or other. Then they got the Christians. What do? They got either you follow the Torah or you're a Christian and you go with Dean Odle or you go with Rob Skiba and the parable of the vineyard. And as they divide you, they know that no house divided can stand. So what they're doing is they're coming in and undercutting you. They're taking away your salvation. And I don't know whether they completely do it. So Wingnut comes in with, so what's to say you're not agents? Well, every single word we speak of is truth. You can back check it, verify it, check everything we say, everything that we promote. We're not here to make money. We always pray and trust in the Creator for all knowledge, for all truth. We're out here flow charting all these disinformation agents. This isn't my only flow chart. I got another one. You guys think this is funny? I'm not new to the Flat Earth movement or to the internet. I've got more flow charts here that go into the people that were promoting Ron Paul, that were setting up the whole QAnon movement, right? I've got them. I've got all their networks, right? I've already got all that. Truth Frequency Radio, Godlike Productions, Math Powerland, Alex Jones, Blog Talk Radio, Canary Cry Radio. We can zoom in here. I'll show you some more shills. You want to call me an agent? I've got more information on all these shills. Truth Media Revolution, that used to be Red Pill Revolution, that went through multiple channels. He was part of the split when you were either nobody died at 9/11 or people died at it. So the whole split became between whether you call it a hoax or a false flag. They completely divided the whole truth movement with a fake plane crash. You got Monograph, who's the linchpin. He's the guy who runs the Richie from Boston's, the John X armies. You got Face Like the Sun, who's connected. You got Dutch Sense, Beyond the Veil. These are all of your agents. Dabu 7. I've got Robbie Davidson from years ago, Crow 777, because he filmed a plane that didn't go through the shot, but the wake in the air from the jet passes over the face of the moon, and he went around saying that the moon was a projection and he had proof of it. Okay? He fooled everybody with a Freemasonic trick. It was nothing more than a lie. BP Earthwatch, I've asked him hundreds of times, oh yeah, he says comets are real and everything that the scientists say is real, and NASA, he doesn't have any proof of it. You got Thor, another guy who completely disregards truth. Who else do we have here on this old one? Richie. We got Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. Now, Will is actually, I could probably take him off this list. He doesn't promote the AE map and model anymore, and I'm pretty sure he's come out and said that it doesn't work. Paul Bagley, Jonathan Kleck. The Drudge Report always is a disinformation. FPRN Radio. This is an old school one that Monograph was connected to. They fooled everybody with their movement as well up north of the 49th. Those were old pandy hookers. ODD makes it in. He used to be called Overdose Denver. He's complete Satanist. Jeranism connected to Globebusters, who started that. And there's, everybody knows Bob. Bob apparently took the highest precession ring laser or whatever and actually measured the Earth's movement.
So when I see Globebusters in a chat somewhere, I'll burn through, confront him, in the most obscure way possible about him proving that the Earth spins, and it just results in an auto ban. I get blocked immediately.
Yeah, know where he went. But there's more people on this list. You got Zachary K. Hubbard, who teaches you nothing but satanic gematria, which is not biblical. We got Nicholson. You blasted him right out of the water. He was the real chemtrail guy, right? Remember? You smashed this guy. He promotes the psychedelic music and the flashy lights. That's what Project Bluebeam was, mind control. He was the front forerunner promoting all that propaganda online. We all know Math Powerland from the NASA channel, Super Show. We got True Stream Media, who just does nothing but promote documents from the CIA, FBI, NSA, all that. They have done some interesting work. So this is one of the channels you can get truth from it. But again, the externalization of the hierarchy is where the Satanists are just coming straight out with it now. Frazzle drip and all this other crap. I shouldn't say those words. Probably going to get striked. Or I'm already monitored. Nothing gets views anyways. Nobody see. I don't get my links and videos anywhere. Mark Sargent. This is an old group too. Old Russian Vids. This channel's gone. Most of these channels are gone. Dearth. This channel's gone. Dutch Sense still out there propagating. You know how he supposedly debunked the flat earthers? He said that because the flat earthers love to believe that one book, Beyond the Poles, where supposedly everything goes up and up and up and up and up. He said that the flat earthers have to go to the edge of the earth and then fly the 30 miles up the mountain and bring him back the footage for him to believe that the earth is flat.
Yeah, that's a show request. You ask for the unattainable, right?
Yeah. So we'll get back into this real quick. We got Now You See TV, promoting the fake map and model and the Rob Skibas, all that. A lot of people are fooled by this channel as well. They get, again, let's see how many views they get. So remember, since 2016, anyone telling truth, because the New World Order, the way that mind control works, if you have a perceived popularity, there's a higher weight attributed to your truth or your mind control that you're promoting. So if you're getting thousands of views like this channel is still, you're actually working for Satan.
The Freemason, the obelisk, George Washington, the Freemason. See, that's all promotion. There's no he hasn't crossed it out and said this is awful, these are Satanists. It's just promotion.
And I've seen him promoting this deep diving spiritual. He's got these women on his videos. They're not covering. Some women cover their heads. I prefer that if a woman's going to be a teacher, but it's not for our protection. It's actually against the Satan's, the adversaries, right? The hair is, you're supposed to hide it. But anyways, you got that channel. Now You See, we went over Adam. Gen 6. Now, he's been calling out the parable of a vineyard. He's been actually saying a lot of truthful things. He's over in France, been going through the yellow vest movement. I'm praying for this guy, I'm praying for him, but I haven't heard him come out and denounce the AE map model and realize that the flat earth AE map model in the dome is a setup by Satan to take down the Bible and the credibility of the creator. He hasn't said anything of this kind or done the research. He's been spending most of his time talking about how Yahushua was God in the flesh, which is true. John 1:1, right? In the beginning was Word, the Word was with God, the Word was God. And then the Word tabernacled with us and became man. Do you want to say anything about him before I move?
Just if you go back, I mean, you don't have to, but for a person, if they look at his earlier content, I don't know if he's taken it down, but it's pretty hard if you're astute to not catch the fact that he's super idolizing the Knights Templars, right? So yeah, that Rothschild Castle and the Chapel of Serpents and all that kind of stuff right there. And he's super into his family lineage and thinks that that's important and stuff like that.
Remember that's fleshly, right? That's exactly against what the creator We're not supposed to worship the flesh. Our mothers and fathers that are flesh are just flesh, right? Yahushua made it quite clear that the spirit, that's who our true mother and father is, not the flesh.
Yeah, and here comes Knights of Malta coming up. And he had some video about Knights of Templar or whatever. And I would just be highly, highly surprised to find out that he wasn't of one of those fraternal orders. It would shock me. Really would.
Yeah, and RSE too as well was called out for being the similar thing, a Mason or a Templar or elite bloodline. So like I said, I'm praying for him. He is called out the deception of the being under the curse and the law, and he has been saying that the creator is Yahushai. He doesn't use the word, he says Yeshua, but remember when we called out Adam, right, for having Rob on and being in the military and all those things that we were hitting those check boxes with the other guy had the brick wall behind him. Caleb from Gen 6 Project, he was the one who stood up and came on the channel to try to debate us. Right?
Yeah, he did.
And it turns out that he's actually now fighting against the same people that he was then fighting us against. We were the ones telling him, not that we want credit, because we don't want credit, but I just want to point out that we were the ones that were trying to warn him and other people, and he came at us with fire, mocking us because Jason put forth that we might be the two witnesses because we're here for nothing but the truth, and that's a whole other topic. He came at us with rage, and he didn't refute one thing that we've ever said. So that's Caleb. I'm praying for him. I know he's not completely promoting the AM app. So you got Scrawny to Brawny, who I believe is ODD or Rob Skiba. Because the two of them, they interchange their videos constantly. Rob Skiba's videos come from Scrawny to Brawny. And ODD has the exact same, all of his stuff's on private. Go figure, right? Just another show, 89,000 subscribers, right? 1.4 million views. You're working for YouTube, buddy. You're not Team Yahushai. Racer FE, this is just a chat dweller. We were discussing copies and pastes, religious dogma, and AE map and model lies. Hey, Cameron, what's up, brother? Miss you, man. Praying for you all the time. Good to see you. Jason?
Yeah, I just saw his comment. I was excited to see it.
Like,
welcome.
This is so, I just want to let everyone know, this isn't the fun part of my day. This is like, Yahushai says, love you, brother, man, for sure. Yahushai tells me these people are out here lying in my name. And what are you going to do about it? Right? Who's going to tell my sheep? And I keep saying me, I will, I'll do it. What do you want me to do? Father, I pray at night in my spirit, you know, because I'm constantly in prayer in my spirit with the creator, but I literally ask him, Father, show me what to do. How do I save people? How do I do your will? And he keeps putting it on my heart because this is the last thing I want to do. Make flowcharts about people that are supposedly after the same God and creator as me, but yet they're filled with lies and disinformation. Like, I don't know how this makes you feel, brother.
Well, we're pushing 2 hours here, and the way it makes me feel is it reminds me of the conversation we had the other night and the video I shared. I really super employ people. We're coming up to the end of 2018. We are not far away from it. We are right up on the winter solstice, a super high watch date. We've got Christmas, which is not Yahushai's birthday, but most likely Satan's, or it's been attributed to Nimrod, but it's probably Satan's birthday. And so all this stuff's coming together. And if we're coming into the final stretch, it's sort of like last lap for the horses, right? You've been to horse races. If they
Sure.
they go around and you get to the last lap, what happens? Like the jockeys, hopefully they've saved enough energy in the horse, and at a certain point, they open it up wide open, right?
Yeah, they run their hearts out.
Yeah. There's nothing to hold back for anymore. You hopefully you've saved up enough, and now you just let it all go. And it relates back to this. Here, I'll do a screen share quick. The little red hen. How many people are familiar with the little red hen story? I'm going to speed this up. I don't want to get a strike for this. I think at 1.5, we should all be able to understand this, but think about this, people, as far as what you're doing in your own personal lives right now. We can all do just what we're capable of, but think about this quick.
The Little Red Hen. The Little Red Hen lived on a big farm with all kinds of animals. One day, while she was walking, the Little Red Hen came across some seeds. She decided to plant them. "Who will help me?" she asked her friends. "Not I," said the bull. "Not I," said the mouse. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I'll do it," said the Little Red Hen, and so she planted all of the seeds by herself. It took a while, but the seeds grew into a field of wheat. "Who will help me cut the wheat?" asked the Little Red Hen. "Not I," quacked the duck. "Not I," meowed the cat. "Not I," brayed the bull. The Little Red Hen sighed and said, "Then I'll do it," and she cut the wheat all by herself. After cutting all the wheat, the Little Red Hen just wanted to rest, but her work wasn't done yet. "Who will help me take the wheat to the mill to be ground into flour?" she asked. "Not I," squeaked the mouse. "Not I," barked the dog. "Not I," quacked the duck. "Then I'll do it," said the Little Red Hen, and she took the wheat to be ground, and then she carried the heavy sack of flour all the way back to the farm. The exhausted Little Red Hen then asked her friends, "Who will help me bake the bread?" "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the bull. "Not I," said the dog. The Little Red Hen said, "Then I guess I'll bake it myself." Once the bread was finished, the Little Red Hen asked, "Who will help me eat this bread?" "We will," said the duck and the dog. "Us too," said the bull and the cat. "And don't forget me," said the mouse. "Nope," said the Little Red Hen. "This bread is for those who worked on it." And then she...
You get the moral, people? You see what Jason's trying to say here?
Be a part, because otherwise the scriptures tell us it's not just me, it's not just Ronnie, it's not our opinions. The Bible tells us that we will be rewarded based on, well, what are you going to say? What are you going to say when you stand before Yahushua and he says, "Hey, what did you do to help share the truth?" You know, just off the top of your head, come on. What you got? What did you do?
Who did you confront for me in my name so that they would repent of their ways? Who?
Mm-hmm.
Who answered my call?
Mm-hmm. Because if you expect to be able to eat of the bread, the expectation is that you also participated in the production of it. And that's what the scriptures tell us. It's not just what I'm saying, not just what Ronnie says. So the scriptures say. So be involved, do all that you can do, fight for the truth. We're coming up on a time period with Christmas. A lot of people are going to be gathered with people. What are you going to do? Are you going to check yourself? Are you going to keep your mouth shut and not talk about the truth when the opportunity arises? Or when the opportunity arises, are you going to say, "Hey, guess what?" everything that you've been believing in is a lie and part of this satanic system. And I've got some information I'd like to share with you that could affect your eternal life. So,
yeah, totally. I totally agree with you. And before I play us out, please don't hit the end on the stream this time.
okay.
Not to call you out. So shout out to Larry, who showed up in the chat. I met Larry years ago calling out Jaron Campanella. Jaron and me were having a debate and we were going at it. Jaron caught me off guard. They had it all planned. I went at it with him toe to toe. I think I knocked his teeth out of his face, if we want to talk metaphorically. I wasn't screen sharing, and Larry jumped on the link that I had shared in Facebook. And we don't like the one eye symbolism either in the chat. Just to say, the winking thing, Larry's not cool with us. We're not with the one eye symbolism. Again, is a reference to, in the Bible, it speaks of those that are condemned, they'll have their right eye gouged out. So that's Satan, right? So we're not with the one eye. But Larry jumped on and said, "Hey, Ronnie, you guys aren't sharing." And it really did get to bring home my points that the sun was rising due east and setting due west. That was years ago. Excuse me. I know my gear needs a little upgrading. The one new debunk that I have for everybody is Jaron is saying that due to atmosphere refraction, like a dome and moisture in the air, he's saying that people in the south of the earth are seeing the sun rise south of them and set south of them due to moisture in the air. And my debunk for that is, because I prayed on it and the Lord answered me, and he said, he didn't say these words, but every day the moisture changes. So we would have a different angled sunrise and sunset if we lived on Jaron's moisture atmosphere fake AE map and model. Again, the map model, everything that he just brought to the table, I just smashed. It's sorry.
Done. Over and over and over.
So Friday, you want to give, you're not going to drop any names?
Well, we'll go through the letter that my mom sent me, and we'll go through this information on Sir Isaac Newton, and it's bad. It's real bad. Anybody that continues to believe in the heliocentric model at this point, at that point forward, is going to be exposed as just being a religious zealot for Satan. And there's not much more you can say about it.
No, again, it's another topic that we both prayed upon and waited patiently. See, we don't expect, I like to keep the analogy of, to a true Christian, imagine your prayers are like you have a giant boulder in your backyard, and every prayer you make, it's one more swing of an axe again, of a rock hammer against that boulder. And each time you hit it, the crack gets a little bigger. And he's the one who controls whether that rock splits. So just keep your prayers up. I really enjoyed the message that you gave, Jason, to get involved, because we are saved through grace alone. The Creator came here and died for us. He was tortured and he was hung up on a stake, pierced.
Yeah, well, we can be saved just by knowing his name alone and calling upon it. That we're willing, that we want to be on his team.
But if you've been, go ahead.
But yeah, there will be an accounting. You will be asked what you've done.
The book of life in the Bible and all extra canonical scriptures is everything good that you've done recorded. It's all written. It's laid bare in heaven. Right? So all we are is trying to encourage people to get involved, speak up, and shout the truth out, because there's not a better feeling. You couldn't pay me an infinite amount of money. I would never trade it for one piece of the truth. It's more valuable than any precious gold or any diamonds. Now, don't hang up on this, Jason. I got a video to play. But where does everybody hear it?
Only beyond Flat Earth.
Father in heaven, guide me on this path. Watch over my family and calm their hearts. When I enter your temple, please take my questions.
I am the way, the truth, and the life.
Doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Maybe Gleason didn't get the sizes of the land masses absolutely 100% correct.
Armaments are there, as talked about in God's Word? One or more?
I believe in more than one.
And how do you, because you back it up with the Bible, you know, how...
If we were actually to have the same perspective as God, we would be able to see that. We would be able to sit above the circle of the earth and watch the stars go in a clockwise rotation around the north. But because we have a limited perspective, we're looking at it like this on a flat plane. We're seeing the stars come up here and go down. And so it looks like it's going on a counterclockwise rotation. But in reality, it's going in a clockwise rotation.
Right at the front of it, right past her.
Pastor, when did you know you were going to preach on this subject at Great Harvest Baptist? What prompted it? Were you trying to get famous? That's a good question. Affirm the things that we have believed, and I think the Book of Enoch is a total fraud, completely faked.
Books 1, 2, and 3?
When they come out with 6 and 7, yes, all of them, all the future ones, the one today. And I'll tell you why. So in Jude, it talks about Enoch, right? And people will take the verses in Jude and say, okay, so because it says, and Enoch also, the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these saying, because that book copied that one sentence and put it in there, they'll say this is verifiable truth, that this is the Bible.
Besides the fact that you're straight blaspheming the Holy Spirit when you condemn Enoch and you think it's so smirking funny, how is it that Jude and 2 Peter were even quoting from Enoch if the prophesied words were not written down? But
what the verse actually says is that Enoch, also the seventh from Adam, prophesied of these sayings. It doesn't say that he wrote this down. It says that he preached about the, behold, he cometh with 10,000 saints to execute judgment upon all. So he ends up, he's preaching this. He's not writing it down. So people will take, just because it was quoted, they'll take it and say that that's true.
Lord, save me. Without little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?
To love your God and to love one another is not always to tell people the things that they want to hear. But beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to you, so do you see these three lines here?
Yeah, those are the tropics and the equator.
That's correct. So what orientation or shape would you think this would take when I project it to a sphere?
Well, no, if you projected that onto a sphere, you're going to get the globe Earth that I believe in.
Yes!
This map.
Yes!
Brothers and sisters, friends and fellow truth seekers, please join Awake Souls and myself tonight at 8 p.m. Central, live here on the Limitless channel, as we set forth our evidence of Nathan Roberts, your curveless earth, and Pastor Tyler J. Doka from the Great Harvest Baptist Church. They are being held as witness to as blaspheming the Holy Spirit. We will lay forth our evidence and set forth our testimony on detesting all spirits that come and say that they are of God. Please join us tonight. This is very serious, and moving forward, we will be testing all spirits, and your judgment will be of your own words and nothing less. Join us, 8 p.m.